hoping to benefit from the popular disaffection with the monarchy. Keeping all these circumstances in mind, in November 2005, the alliance reached a historical 12-point understanding with the rebels that paved the way for peaceful democratic movement against the royal autocracy. By April 2006, the situation was ripe for a mass uprising, and after a 19-day-long peaceful movement, the Nepali people finally succeeded in getting the democracy restored and the state authority handed back to the people. It was indeed a historic accomplishment, the acme of the success of people power. The international community that was sympathetic to the people of Nepal in their struggle for democracy has welcomed this positive political development. At this point, let me express our deep gratitude to the friendly government and people of the United States of America who have consistently supported our continued struggle for democracy and development. Democracy being one of the only desirable universal political goals, Nepal is strongly committed to achieving, strengthening and institutionalizing democracy for the benefit of our people. The restored parliament has made a historic proclamation on 18 May 2006, announcing itself as the supreme state authority until a new constitution arrangement is put in place. Accordingly, an interim constitution is also in the making. We are now in the midst of a major political transition, which the current government has been trying to navigate with caution and confidence. For the government of Nepal, which is a landlocked and less developed country, there are many challenges ahead. It has to reduce poverty, illiteracy, and unemployment. It has to provide clean, transparent, and good governance. While we prepare the ground to attain those goals, we have three immediate objectives at present. 1. To protect and consolidate democracy, institutionalize the achievements made by the people. 2. To end the armed conflict, translating the peace process into permanent peace, bringing the Maoists to the peaceful democratic political mainstream. And 3rd, to hold free and fair elections to a constituent assembly that will write a new constitution. At the same time, we also have to carry out reconstruction and rehabilitation activities for people to lead a normal life. The government is currently holding talks with the Maoists to achieve these objectives. As we do that, we are always guided by the belief that democracy provides the best common ground to settle differences in an amicable manner. It helps to promote respect for universal human values, human dignity, and human rights. Likewise, democracy unleashes the people's ingenuity and enterprise for development and prosperity. We are fully cognizant of the fact that the road ahead is full of hurdles and obstructions. But our goal is clear, and our commitment to peace, democracy, and progress is unshakable. We are engaged in an interim peace process. We know the world is watching us. We have sought assistance of the United Nations to help us in the process. I am confident that, given the goodwill and support of our friends and well-wishers in the international community, we will be able to restore a lasting peace and stability and sustainable progress in our country. Our experience in this regard is going to be unique. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, the Minister has agreed to take several questions. If anybody has questions, be happy to call on you. Sir.
Mr. Lee, my name is David Caprera. I'm with the Brookings Institution, where I direct their International Service and Volunteering Program. I was formerly in the Bush administration as part of their Freedom Corps initiative promoting national service and Corporation for Service. there is a growing coalition of NGOs, USAID, various agencies that want to reestablish, if you will, a Kennedy-esque vision of international service and volunteering and support abroad and capacity building. And we have a number of U.S. companies, Microsoft, GE, IBM, and others, as well as the volunteer sector, civil society to civil society, interested in supporting rebuilding kinds of processes. You talked about maybe plant number 4. And I was just wondering, off the top of your head, if there are any particular key issue areas where perhaps you're working with international redevelopment construction. I've heard a lot about the plight of children orphaned from the conflict. Are there any areas that you think lend themselves to international support, both corporations with technical expertise and volunteering elements? Our co-director of my office actually was a Peace Corps member in Nepal, but I'm just curious, if you have any thoughts, or we could follow up on that, but what areas for sort of public-private partnership might be ripe?
Thank you very much for your very important question. Of course, we can understand the role played by non-governmental organizations in the present era. And of course, we do not rely entirely on the government or public sector, but also private sector, and as well as not only the governmental organizations, but also we understand and realize the importance of the non-governmental organizations and their role which they are playing in the present time. And of course, in Nepal, due to the armed conflict from which our country is being suffered since last 10 years and more, though gentleman mentioned that 11,000 people had to lose their life, but the number, in fact, the number is greater than that, bigger than that. Approximately, we think that 15,000 people have lost their life already, and there are thousands of women are widowed, and you can understand that according to the Nepalese society, and in Nepalese society with the Nepalese culture, being widow is very tremendous, and thousands of children are orphaned, and they have no mother, no father, no parent, and nobody there to look after them. That is the situation. And 280,000 people are displaced. And some of the countable part of the displaced people are compelled to leave the country as well. So in this juncture particularly, while we are launching reconstruction and rehabilitation works, in this juncture we extremely need external help from different, from private and public sectors, from the government and non-governmental organizations, and well-wishers and supporters, and who love Nepal and Nepalese people and want to see their betterment and better position, of course. But in particular, right now I am not in position to say in which area, because I am just Deputy Prime Minister, not Prime Minister of Nepal, and I have to consult my Prime Minister. And so far in the peace process, we have invited the United Nations, and under the umbrella of the United Nations, we will other countries and organizations will take part in the process under the umbrella of the United Nations. And as a gentleman was mentioning, that we are like a small sandwich between two giant neighbors, and we have to understand their concerns and sensitivity also. It is not so very prestigious to mention like this, but that is the reality. This is the situation in our country, and I have to consult other colleagues also in the cabinet. But we extremely need external support from different angles. And so far the question of humanitarian support and support in the field of health, education and others, and particularly in the field of reconstruction and rehabilitation, we need, of course. and we can talk in details later with your organization. Yes, of course, being concentrated on that matter.
Right here in the
Thank
front.